Hello and welcome, dear friend, to this transformative journey we are about to embark upon together. Today, we will confront something that resides in the heart of every human being: fear. That ancient, complex, and powerful emotion that surfaces whenever we encounter the unknown, the uncertain, or the unfamiliar. Fear is a force that has shaped humanity's survival and evolution. It is primal and raw, yet it is also a master teacher. But more than anything, fear is an invitation, a call to step beyond comfort, to reach beyond perceived limits, and to awaken to our deepest potential. Understanding fear requires a gentle but honest examination. It is not simply an obstacle or a weakness to be ashamed of. It is a deeply wired response that served our ancestors well in the wild, helping them survive predators and danger. Our brains have evolved to recognize threats quickly and respond with fight, flight, or freeze. This biological alarm system has been crucial to the survival of our species. However, the world we live in today is vastly different from the one of our ancestors. Our fears are no longer about tangible threats like wild animals or harsh elements. Instead, they are often intangible. Fears of failure, rejection, loneliness, inadequacy, or change. These fears, while less physical, can be equally or even more paralyzing. They create invisible barriers inside our minds and hearts, keeping us trapped in cycles of hesitation and doubt. But here's where the story takes a profound turn. What if we shifted our perspective on fear? What if fear was not the enemy, but a guide? What if every flutter of anxiety and every whisper of insecurity was actually a signpost, pointing us towards the areas of our lives most ripe for growth and transformation? Nelson Mandela, a beacon of resilience and courage, once said, "I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear." This quote encapsulates a deep truth. Bravery does not mean that you do not feel fear. In fact, the most courageous people are those who feel fear deeply and choose to act anyway. This is the essence of human greatness. It is not about being fearless, but about being willing to stand up, to move forward, to take that next step even when your heart pounds with uncertainty. It is about learning to dance with your fear rather than running from it. I want you to know, wherever you are right now on your journey, that your fear does not diminish your worth or potential. It does not mean you are weak or incapable. It means you are human, and within that humanity lies an extraordinary capacity for growth, for resilience, and for greatness. Over the course of this video, we will unpack the nature of fear, anxiety, and insecurity. We will explore why these feelings arise and how they influence your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Most importantly, you will gain practical tools and empowering strategies to face your fears with confidence and transform them into catalysts for success. Together, we will discover how breathing deeply can calm your nervous system, how shifting your thoughts can quiet the inner critic, and how taking small, deliberate steps can build unstoppable momentum. We will delve into the power of mindset, the role of self-compassion, and the importance of surrounding yourself with supportive influences. Imagine fear as a door, a gateway. On one side lies hesitation, self-doubt, and limitation. On the other side is your greatness, your fullest potential, your deepest joy, your highest expression. Your challenge, your invitation, is to approach that door, open it, and walk through, even if your legs tremble and your heart races. I encourage you to take a deep breath now, to settle into the present moment, and to open yourself to the possibility that lies within. This moment, right here, is the beginning of your transformation. Your journey to greatness starts not with perfection or certainty, but with the willingness to show up, exactly as you are. Thank you for trusting me to walk with you on this path. Let's take the first step together. Fear is an emotion as old as humanity itself, deeply embedded in our biology and psychology. It has served a crucial purpose throughout evolution, acting as a guardian against danger and a catalyst for survival. Our ancestors relied on fear to alert them to predators, to fire, to harsh elements. Without it, survival would have been impossible. This primal function of fear is hardwired into our nervous system, triggering rapid physiological responses designed to protect us: an increased heart rate, quickened breath, heightened senses, and the famous fight-or-flight response. However, in the modern world, our fears often look quite different. Instead of being chased by wild beasts, we face fears that are more subtle, yet no less powerful. The fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of not being enough, the fear of the unknown future. These fears are psychological and emotional, threats rather than physical ones. They arise from our imagination, our expectations, and sometimes our past traumas. Anxiety is closely linked to fear, but functions somewhat differently. While fear is a response to an immediate and identifiable threat, anxiety is a persistent, often vague, anticipation of danger, something that might happen but hasn't yet. It's a mental and physical state of heightened alertness and tension. Anxiety prepares us to deal with threats, but when it becomes chronic, it can exhaust our mind and body, leading to feelings of overwhelm, restlessness, and dread. Insecurity ties into both fear and anxiety, but is more personal and internal. It's that nagging sense of self-doubt that undermines confidence and creates barriers to taking action. It often stems from comparing ourselves to others, from internalized criticism, or from repeated negative experiences. Insecurity whispers to us, "You're not good enough," or "You don't belong." When left unchecked, these beliefs become self-fulfilling prophecies, limiting our potential and robbing us of joy. These three, fear, anxiety, and insecurity, often work together to create what feels like an impenetrable wall. They influence our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, pushing us toward avoidance, procrastination, or self-sabotage. But here's the crucial truth: they are not insurmountable enemies. They are signals, indicators of where your attention, healing, and growth are needed. Understanding this dynamic is the first major step in reclaiming your power. When you recognize that these feelings are natural and universal, you begin to see yourself as part of the shared human experience rather than isolated or broken. You begin to foster compassion for yourself and others. Moreover, seeing fear, anxiety, and insecurity as teachers rather than tyrants opens up a new way to relate to them. Instead of fleeing or fighting, you can learn to listen. What is your fear trying to protect you from? What stories is your anxiety telling you about the future? What truths or needs lie beneath your insecurity? For example, fear of failure might reveal a deep desire for achievement or recognition. Anxiety about the future might be your mind's way of preparing for change, even if it feels uncomfortable. Insecurity about social situations might indicate a longing for connection and acceptance. In the coming chapters, we will build on this foundation of understanding to explore concrete, actionable strategies. These will help you face fear with courage, calm anxiety through mindfulness, and transform insecurity with self-compassion and practical growth. Remember, the path to mastery over fear and insecurity begins with awareness and kindness. Awareness of what you're feeling and kindness in how you respond. This mindset lays the groundwork for the transformation that awaits. Are you ready to take the next step? In the next chapter, we'll dive deep into practical tools and strategies for confronting fear directly and turning anxiety into a powerful engine for success. Fear, anxiety, and insecurity can feel like overwhelming forces that hold us back. Yet, they don't have to control your life. When you learn to face these feelings with intention and practical strategies, you transform them from barriers into powerful engines that drive your success. Let's dive deep into how to do this. Acceptance, the foundation of courage. The first and most crucial step in overcoming fear is acceptance. Fear loses much of its power when you stop fighting it. Denying or avoiding fear only makes it grow in the shadows. Instead, acknowledge your fear openly and honestly. Say to yourself, "I am afraid," and that is okay. This simple act of acceptance creates space for awareness and calm. Accepting fear does not mean giving into it or letting it dictate your choices. It means recognizing fear as a natural, even valuable part of your emotional landscape. It is a signal that you are stepping outside of your comfort zone and approaching growth. Breathe. Calm your nervous system. One of the most immediate ways to reduce anxiety is through conscious breathing. When anxiety hits, our breathing becomes shallow and rapid, which fuels panic. Diaphragmatic breathing, deep breaths into your belly with slow, controlled exhalations, sends a powerful signal to your brain that you are safe. It calms your nervous system and reduces the physical symptoms of fear. Try this now. Breathe in slowly through your nose for a count of 4, hold for 4, then exhale gently through your mouth for 6. Repeat several times. You'll feel tension. Release and clarity emerge. Mindfulness and meditation cultivate present awareness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present and aware without judgment. Fear and anxiety often arise from our minds projecting into the future or dwelling on the past. Mindfulness teaches you to observe your thoughts and feelings without getting caught up in them. Meditation, even for just a few minutes a day, can rewire your brain to respond to fear with calm and composure rather than panic. It strengthens your ability to witness anxiety as a passing state rather than a permanent condition. Challenge negative thoughts. Reframe your inner dialogue. Fear often thrives on negative self-talk. "I can't do this," "I'm going to fail," or "I'm not good enough." Write down these thoughts and then question them. Are they really true? What evidence supports or contradicts them? Then replace these limiting beliefs with empowering affirmations. I am capable. Every step forward is progress. Challenges help me grow. Over time, this rewiring changes your internal narrative from one of doubt to one of strength. Visualization. Mental rehearsal for success. Visualization is a powerful technique used by top performers around the world. Close your eyes and vividly imagine yourself succeeding in the challenge that frightens you. Feel the emotions of triumph, confidence, and peace. This mental rehearsal primes your brain and body to act with greater confidence and less fear. Take small, consistent steps. Build momentum. You don't have to confront your biggest fears all at once. Break your challenges into manageable pieces and tackle them gradually. Each small victory builds confidence and weakens fear's grip. For example, if public speaking terrifies you, start by speaking up in a small, trusted group, then gradually increase the audience size. These incremental wins build momentum and resilience. Draw inspiration from stories of courage. History is full of people who felt fear but moved forward regardless. Oprah Winfrey faced poverty and rejection before becoming a media icon. J.K. Rowling was turned down by numerous publishers before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. Elon Musk risked his fortune on ventures that many considered impossible. These stories remind us that fear is universal, but so is the capacity to act despite it. Build a support system. Share your journey. Talking about your fears with trusted friends, mentors, or coaches can lighten your burden and bring perspective. You realize you are not alone, and others can offer support, encouragement, and practical advice. Develop resilience. Embrace failure as feedback. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a necessary part of it. Each setback teaches you what doesn't work and guides you to improve. When you stop fearing failure, you open the door to learning and growth. By embracing these steps, you turn fear from a prison into a launch pad. Anxiety shifts from paralyzing to preparing. Insecurity becomes a signal for growth. The journey to success isn't about eliminating fear, it's about mastering it. using it to fuel your courage and determination. In the next chapter, we'll explore how insecurity, often misunderstood, can be an opportunity to build self-awareness and compassion. Insecurity is an emotion many experience but few fully understand or embrace. It often shows up as that quiet inner voice that questions your abilities, your worth, or your place in the world. It can make you hesitate, doubt your decisions, or avoid pursuing your dreams. Yet, insecurity is not a weakness. Rather, it is a signal, a powerful opportunity for deep personal growth and transformation. The first step toward harnessing insecurity is recognition without judgment. Instead of criticizing yourself for feeling uncertain or inadequate, practice mindfulness and self-awareness. Observe your feelings of insecurity as if you were an impartial witness. What triggers these feelings? Is it certain social situations, comparisons to others, or fears rooted in past experiences? Becoming aware of your insecurity in this way is essential because what we resist tends to persist, but what we accept and understand can be transformed. Insecurity can serve as a guidepost, pointing toward areas of your life that need attention, healing, or development. For instance, if you feel insecure about your professional skills, it may be your inner self inviting you to learn more or improve your craft. If you feel insecure about your social interactions, it could be encouraging you to build deeper connections or improve communication skills. Central to this process is self-compassion. Many people are far harsher on themselves than they would ever be on a friend. Imagine how you would talk to someone you care about who felt insecure, with patience, kindness, and understanding. Extend that same compassionate voice to yourself. Acknowledge that insecurity is part of the human condition. It does not define your value or potential. Setting realistic goals is a powerful way to combat insecurity. Break down larger aspirations into manageable, achievable steps. Celebrate each milestone you reach, no matter how small. This creates a positive feedback loop that reinforces your confidence and diminishes feelings of inadequacy. It's also important to understand that insecurity is a natural companion to growth. Even the most successful and confident individuals have insecurities. What distinguishes them is their willingness to move forward despite those feelings. They see insecurity not as a stop sign, but as a natural part of the learning process. Building a supportive environment is crucial. Surround yourself with people who uplift, encourage, and believe in you. Seek mentors and communities where vulnerability is embraced and growth is celebrated. Positive social support can drastically reduce the burden of insecurity and inspire you to take bold steps. Finally, remember that insecurity is not a permanent state. It is a moment on your journey, a phase of transition. With awareness, patience, and consistent effort, insecurity can be transformed into strength, self-awareness, and authentic confidence. By embracing insecurity as an opportunity rather than a limitation, you open the door to profound personal transformation. In the next chapter, we will explore the power of mindset and how adopting a growth-oriented perspective completes this journey toward conquering fear, anxiety, and insecurity, setting you on the path to lasting success and fulfillment. At the core of overcoming fear, anxiety, and insecurity lies one of the most transformative forces you can cultivate: your mindset. The way you perceive yourself, your challenges, and your potential fundamentally shapes your experience of life and your ability to succeed. Psychologist Carol Dweck popularized the idea of two primary mindsets: the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. Understanding these can be a game changer in your personal journey. A fixed mindset is the belief that your abilities, intelligence, and talents are static traits. People with a fixed mindset often avoid challenges to protect themselves from failure or embarrassment. They may give up easily, ignore constructive criticism, and feel threatened by the success of others. This mindset limits growth and traps you in a cycle of fear and self-doubt. On the other hand, a growth mindset is the understanding that your qualities and abilities can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. Those with a growth mindset embrace challenges as opportunities, see effort as a path to mastery, learn from criticism, and find inspiration in the success of others. This mindset fosters resilience, courage, and a deep love for learning. When facing fear and insecurity, cultivating a growth mindset means reframing setbacks as feedback, not failure. It means seeing anxiety not as a stop sign, but as a signal that you are pushing your boundaries and expanding your comfort zone. Practical ways to nurture this mindset include self-awareness. Pay attention to your internal dialogue. When negative or limiting thoughts arise, pause and question them. Are they true? Are they helpful? Then reframe those thoughts into positive, growth-oriented statements. For example, replace "I can't do this" with "I can learn how to do this." Journaling. Write down your fears and insecurities alongside affirmations or action steps. This helps externalize negative patterns and creates a roadmap for progress. Surrounding yourself with growth-minded people. Seek mentors, coaches, and friends who encourage you, provide honest feedback, and inspire you to stretch beyond your limits. Embracing failure. Understand that every successful person has failed many times. Each failure is an opportunity to learn, adjust, and try again with more wisdom. Positive affirmations. Daily reminders such as "Mistakes are opportunities," "Every effort counts," or "I am constantly growing," can rewire your brain toward optimism and confidence. Remember, mindset is not fixed. It's a skill you develop through practice and intentionality. By embracing a growth mindset, you turn fear into fuel, insecurity into insight, and anxiety into action. This mindset becomes the foundation for your courage, persistence, and ultimate success. As you close this chapter, reflect on where your mindset currently is. Are you leaning more toward fixed beliefs or growth possibilities? What is one small step you can take today to shift toward a mindset that empowers you to embrace fear and reach your greatest potential? Your mindset is the lens through which you view your life. Choose to see challenges as stepping stones, not stumbling blocks. Choose to see your fears not as prisons, but as gateways to greatness. As we arrive at the closing of this profound journey, it is essential to reflect on everything we have explored together. Fear, anxiety, and insecurity, these are not signs of weakness or failure. They are integral parts of the human experience, deeply woven into our nature. Far from being enemies to be avoided or defeated, they are messengers that illuminate the path to growth, courage, and ultimately, greatness. Throughout history, the most remarkable individuals, those who have left a lasting impact on the world, did not live free from fear. Instead, they chose to confront it. They felt the heaviness of anxiety, wrestled with doubts and insecurities, yet moved forward with relentless determination. This choice, to act in spite of fear, is what separates greatness from stagnation. Today, you have armed yourself with the knowledge and tools to transform fear from a paralyzing force into a driving power. You understand that acceptance is the foundation of courage, that calm breath can restore clarity, and that mindfulness can untangle the knots of anxious thoughts. You have learned to challenge and reframe limiting beliefs, to take incremental, courageous steps, and to embrace failure as a teacher, not a tyrant. You have come to see insecurity not as a flaw, but as a guidepost pointing you toward growth. With self-compassion and realistic goal setting, you can convert insecurity into confidence. And finally, you recognize the pivotal role of mindset, embracing a growth mentality that sees every challenge as an opportunity to learn and evolve. This journey is not a destination, but an ongoing process. Fear may still visit, anxiety may still rise, and insecurity may whisper doubts. But now, these are no longer insurmountable obstacles. They are signals that you are alive, growing, and stepping beyond your comfort zone. Nelson Mandela's words echo in our hearts. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. Your bravery is found not in the absence of fear, but in your willingness to face it, to act, to persevere. Your greatness awaits on the other side of that fear. It is a life aligned with your deepest values, dreams, and potential. It is the life you are destined to live. So, I invite you now to take a moment to honor your fears without judgment. Feel them fully, then choose to move forward anyway. Take one small, courageous step today. It is in these steps, often unseen, often small, that true transformation occurs. Thank you for walking this path with me. If this message has touched your soul and inspired your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to continue receiving empowering content. Your journey to greatness has only just begun, and the world awaits the unique light that only you can shine. Keep stepping forward. Keep believing. Your best self is waiting.